a publisher touch it unless they're willing to meet my standards, my requirements. Other than that, it's off the table. And of course, the horror tarot, and it's not just like a novelty deck, because there's many tarot decks that are novelty. Right. They get like images that really don't, either they don't relate, they don't entwine with the traditional meaning, or the creator doesn't bother to explain, the history, the background of the image. So basically, this horror tarot that I made, it's to work. I mean, there's people who give shadow readings, who work with their shadow self. So this tarot deck is designed for that. So people can get it and work with their shadows. There's a lot of hypersensitive people who they love tarot deck and art decks of unicorns, fairies, ponies who, as I say, fart rainbows and pixie dust, yeah. But and of course, to each their own, but sometimes it just gets so ridiculous how people want things sugar-coated, So, yeah. Of course, in that tarot deck is also that to peel away their fright or their insecurities from, dark imagery, from monsters. It's not a tarot deck that's going to be absolutely grotesque or heinous, but of course, it is dark. And the sole purpose is so people can entwine, get to know, not be afraid to know the dark side of things. Of course, at moderations, right?
Right. But with anything, mm-hmm. From a divination standpoint, and as a diviner and reader, we know that life is not all pixies and rainbows and unicorns farting fairy dust. We know that there's ups and downs. Sometimes life is just fucking ugly. And the crap that we go through, and the pain and the suffering that we go through, it's also part of our decks. It's also part of what we read. And if we don't balance the real aspect of life and living for the good, the bad, the ugly, what are we giving to our client? We're not giving them help or assistance. We're not telling them how to get past this stage of fright or pain or anger or hurt. As a diviner and a spiritual person, our job is not just to answer yes or no. It's to say, look, here's what's going on. Here's what we can do about it. Here's how we can get to that next level to overcome it. If you've got a goal to reach over here, look, here's what's standing in your way. Here's what you need to work on. And it's not always pretty. And sometimes you really have to just sit there and say, look, get off your ass. This is what you have to do. Not everything is, roses and soft petals. Let's face it. If they were, we would have nobody to read.
Exactly.
Because everybody's coming for a particular reason. My love life sucks. I lost my job. I'm going to lose my house. My family's in disarray. It's one of those, we have to really delve into the depths of actual life in our readings.
Nurture the soul, nurture somebody else's soul, nurture somebody else's existence, basically their future, see for them what awaits if they decide to take this, if they don't take this job promotion that offers 10K a month, what's going to happen, but what they have to sacrifice. So a lot of it, being a diviner, a tarot reader and so forth, it's a lot. It's more than just saying, okay, so I see here that yes, that man is going to be, Hispanic or blonde with blue eyes, and you're going to live in a picket fence house. And so, it's more to that, there's people that come and say, I want to know what the future holds for me, or something simple, or give me a general reading. But then you come with someone that says, I'm going through a midlife crisis, my wife left me, my children doesn't want to speak to me, I got demoted. So that's wow, you start seeing the darker side of things, and basically when you see the darker side of things, the thing is to bring them into the light, to bring those problems and give them not a solution, give them not hope, but give them a solution, give them an option. Okay, what you can go ahead and do, of course, at your account, you can go ahead and do this and this and this, and keep up with that client, keep up with them. Like, if they come back for a reading the next, like 2 months from now, it's like, okay, so things got a little bit of leverage. My wife left me for good, but I got promoted. My son just sends me texts, but how can I do to bring my family closer? And then you go ahead and go at it again. So being a tarot reader, it's a harsh job, because basically you have to put your inhibitions, you have to put your ego on the side, on the back burner, and help this person who's coming to you in full confidence for help. So, I mean, it's not something easy that just learning tarot cards and reading their cards as a game, like, how we would do it in high school with the poker cards. It's nothing like that. This is already basically putting yourself in that person's shoes, and, turn the tables around. What if it was you who was going through what that woman who lost all her money, her bank, is going through? So to be a diviner, to be able to read, in my opinion, a lot of empathy is needed, because you really need to feel what that person is going through. Some people, I've known some readers online and in person who are very cold. You could tell them, like, well, my girlfriend left me, and whatever, there's more fish in the sea. Okay, let's see what's going to happen tomorrow. You're like, what? You're not, you're not paying attention. You're not sympathizing with me.
It's very important for the empathy. The word I use a lot of times is, invest in your client. Invest your time, invest your energy, your experiences. It's not just I'm sitting across the table and I'm just throwing cards. I am a person that you are seeking assistance from. Mm-hmm. You want answers. I need to show that I am invested. I want to know that you're doing well a month down the line. I want to know how things turn out. You have to develop a relationship with your clients, good and bad and different, non-judgmental, but we still have to be invested. We have to have compassion and understanding. We have to give them the wisdom. We have to shine light to help pull them through those dark times. And without that, we're just a reader, And many of us strive to be more than just a reader. We want to be a spiritual advisor. We want to be a diviner who is connected and tapped into, our spiritual guides, the people that we work with, God, the universe, the energy, whatever you want to call all of these things that we pull upon, as diviners to help give you info. These are things we have to do, to be a really good diviner. Now, we are running on about an hour and 22 minutes. I wanted to take a moment to thank Annabelle and Nasor and Christine Tagler, who joined us in chat. I want to wish a very special hello and shout out to all my friends down at the Big Apple Conjure this weekend. We're getting ready for their gala starting on Saturday. So they're having a wonderful time down in New York City, down in Brooklyn, with some conjure and some teaching from some fabulous teachers in the root working traditions in the conjure. You can also tune in to, our personal website at thedivinationtable.com for a list of all the upcoming shows and all of our wonderful guests and special hosts that will be working with me over the course of the next few months, and look for us, also on Twitter. We're also now on Tumblr. We are reaching out, to spread the word of divination and spread divination from all different cultures, because I firmly believe that, we're all intertwined. We're all connected. We all have these visions, and we all work with different systems, whether it's tarot, the La Barajas, the Spanish cards, whether it's bones, curios, shells, charms, tea cards, all of these systems and many more, I want to bring on the show so that I can highlight and show all the wonderful work from all cultures, because we all do the same thing. We just do it differently.
Exactly.
And I love to see the differences on how we connect. So tell our wonderful audience, if they want to get a reading with you, if they want to get a hold of any of your cards, how they can contact you.
Of course, they can go ahead and contact me by emailing me at, of course, j-r-rivera87 at live.com. Or they can always go ahead and look me up under j-r-rivera at Facebook. And of course, if they want a reading or if they want more advice about publishing and so forth, I am all ears, and I like to think that I am a beacon of information. So, to help people. And also and for those who are, and I like working, I like advising those who are new, who want to publish for the first time, give them just basically the runaround of what to expect and not expect, but of course, let them make their decision at the end. Also, speaking of new authors, I also do like to work with or give advice to those who are starting off into reading tarot. And I personally know of a group. It's called the International Tarot Foundation, and they are just a lovely group. It's based in the UK. And the founder, her name is Lara Houston, and she's always very adamant of taking in, or very welcoming of taking in new tarot readers and teaching them how to read the tarot at their pace, of course. And that's the one thing that I like about her, that she works at your pace. So there's no rush or there's no stress or pressure. It's the International Tarot Foundations, which I am a group on there. And of course, they do have also their own award show, Carta Awards. Just I noticed that every tarot group has their own little thing going on.
Yes.
But they're lovely people. And also, they have a Facebook page called the Tarot Readers Development and Study Group, and that's where a lot of newbies go, and they interact with more veteran tarot readers. So that's a very good resource, for people who want to study tarot for the first time, for them to go ahead and dive into learning tarot. So wanted to mention that there's those groups, and there's organizations, foundations to teach new tarot readers. And of course, I do sell copies of the Beautiful Creatures Tarot autographed. Just throwing it out there. I do sell on my website, and I do give free readings, and my readings are not extravagantly high. I understand that many people go through financial hardships, but
nice.
my mission is to go out there and help people. So, basically what I offer in my readings, I would say that it's a very good deal, of what I offer for a reading. And I'm always available to read for people, or maybe somebody that, is a tarot reader and want to exchange tarot readings just for kicks. I'm also willing and able for that as well.
Oh, that's such a wonderful and great thing. My friend Utu, the witch doctor, stopped in and said hi, and kudos for a wonderful show, as well as our guests. And what a great feat it was to get a couple of decks out into the world, because it's not a small job. So as we're winding down, would you like to say our final goodbyes to our wonderful and beautiful audience that tuned in to listen to us today?
Yes, thank you so much for tuning in, for listening to what I had to say. Thank you so much. And and those of you who tuned in, I hope to interact to you with social media. And of course, and if for those who tuned in, if you have any questions regarding publishing, self-publishing, or anything, feel free to contact me. I'm always, my Facebook and social media is like my home. It's like a platform. I welcome people from all walks of life, and I like to teach and to learn. It's a two-way road, and I'm just embrace people who have an admiration for this art, for tarot, reading tarot, for publishing, and so forth. So whoever needs advice or just wants to go ahead and have a nice chat, I'm more than able to go ahead and do that, and I welcome anybody who would like to.
I want to thank all of our beautiful listeners for a beautiful and wonderful day. I will see you all next week on the Divination Show at 7 p.m. Thursdays with Ambrosine Laguerre.